I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And yeah, I knew it was going to happen, y'all. Soon as I started my show, somebody was going to start cutting their grass. It never fails. See, yeah, I'm going to wait right good until they start having like a family reunion or something. Or like, maybe 12 at night when all the lights go out. Just get out there with my zero turn and go to work. Cutting their grass and everything. Hey, neighbor, I thought I'd just cut your grass for you. I know it's like, what, 1 a.m.? But I'm doing you a favor so you can't be mad that I woke you up. Stuff like that. Man, I tell you. Anyway, welcome to the show. Let me know if you can hear me. I see Dallas, okay, on the chat over here, but I don't see him here on the chat. Sometime it take a second for this to boot up. All right. So Dallas said good morning from Thailand. People are throwing up the thumbs up. Luciano's in the crib. All right. Dallas said he can hear me, and that's all I need. That's all I need. All right. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and get it started, and then we'll go through the preliminaries after that. So here we go. Oh, that number right there. Text Maggot to it. Yeah. Somebody said checky check. What's up, Dawn? I hope everything's going great. Beating my chest like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man, some gorillas in here. Now, first of all, for all of those that have sent out kind words of encouragement concerning my little buddy Gizmo, y'all worry about him like I worry about him. I appreciate that. You guys are wonderful. Some people suggested, sent me emails and everything, suggesting that I even start a GoFundMe, but I'm a little bashful about things like that. So we'll see. We'll see if he needs it. It was a good idea though. Talking about some therapy and things for his back and stuff. That's one dog that I would say if I ever had. I used to look at people who go over the top to try to save the dog. I'm like, look, man, if you got to go get a wheelchair and an apparatus to keep the dog, I mean, depending on how old the dog is or how young the dog is, I mean, at some point you got to cut your losses. But when you really got a dog that feels like a family member, it's one of those things you're like, what is too much? What's too much? What's the breaking point, man? But I don't know. I haven't been pushed to that point. Now, hopefully I don't ever have to get pushed to that point. But nonetheless, thank you all for the well wishes. Now, if you want to support the show, you can do that by, sending, actually purchasing some gear from my Kevin's Corner store. Or you can simply just donate to my channel through my Cash App and my PayPal. I definitely appreciate that. And hey, that will go towards Gizmo. There you go. It'll go towards everything. So now with that being said, we got some stuff to talk about because they're still running around talking about cheap fakes, y'all. They're still talking about cheap fakes. So I'm going to go ahead and beat that horse until it ain't moving no more. Until they relent, until they tap out. Till they get it's in their thick heads that there's no such thing as a cheap fake. It's something that they just made up so they could protect Joe Biden. That's all that is. So we got some different takes on the cheap fake. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there it is. That's the number, by the way, in the Kevin's Corner store logo.
The White House doubling down on claims of cheap fakes. Never heard of those until this week.
Never heard that? Never heard about those until this week. Somebody said their connection is lagging. Now I'm using the internets because I didn't. Oh, yeah. Well, look at that. Yeah, it is jammed up over here. Huh. Well, let's see something here. Oh, well. Am I the only one? Because let's see here. Let me go get off the internet, see what happens. Somebody said it's okay there. All right, I got off the internet. And I see a little delay. And that appears to be fine. But I'm going to get back on the Wi-Fi in a second, okay? All right. So now, with that being said, so you hear about the stuff like this that when they want to change a narrative, they want to come up with a little catchphrase or something like that, or introduce a new concept Like a couple years ago, we weren't hearing nothing about no dis and misinformation. Did y'all hear anything about stuff like that? Yeah, we weren't hearing about insurrections and stuff like that. So whenever they want to introduce a new term or change the narrative, they'll go into their think tank and say, all right, here's what we could do. We could come up with something clever. What about instead of a deep fake, let's go with a cheap fake and blame the Republicans of manipulating videos and stuff like that. But we won't tell them how. We won't tell them how. We won't break down how the video is actually manipulated. So, yeah, up until last week, we never heard of a cheap fake. Did y'all?
And unflattering manipulations of Biden videos. But the president isn't helping his case much as he appears to fumble over the name of his own DHS secretary. What? Listen to this.
Mucus?
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary.
I will never get tired of hearing that. Secretary. I will never get tired of hearing that. Now, it's not that hard to say mucus. It's not that hard to say mucus. So, but he was trying to say Maorcus, and of course it came out as.
That's you're going to introduce all the way. First piece of legislation introduced. On my first day in office, I sent an immigration reform bill to the Congress. One that recognized immigrants' contributions.
There you go. He want to recognize immigrants' contributions. Now, what is he trying to say? As he's pandering towards internets. Is he trying to say internets? He's trying to talk about immigrants, but as he recognized immigrants' contributions. But yet, I guess this is a deep fake. My ears right now, my ears are being manipulated because I'm pretty sure I heard him say interments. That's what I thought I heard him say. Unbelievable. Let's continue. Let's see how deep the fake goes, y'all.
Recognize immigrants' contributions. In the earliest days of my nation's history, thousands of Scots-Irish alongside George Washington defended those ideals. And then those democratic ideals were under threat during my nation's civil wars.
Okay.
That's when the Irish immigrants came after the...
You hear that? You hearing glaze over that word again? That's when the Irishman immigrants. So now we got internets or internet somethings, and then we got immigrants, not immigrants, immigrants. Y'all got that one? That's a new one. Put it in the lexicon. Put it in there. Put it in there. Okay. So there we go. Let's see if the third time is a charm. Let's see if the third time's a charm.
Famine. That's when the Irish immigrants came after the famine. Marty Walsh of Boston, son of Irish immigrants. Son of our.
Whoa. Man, he's extending the word. So now it's immigrants. There we go. You got to sound it out. Break it down syllable by syllable when you're learning Jopatin. Okay, when you're learning Jopatin. It's an interesting language.
Irish immigrants. But Kamala, I'm going to keep fighting to restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again. And while we fight for comprehensive immigration reform...
Immigration reform, y'all. You're fighting for something you can't pronounce. As we fight for comprehensive immigration reform. So now we got immigration reform. We got immigrants or immigrants or something like that. We got secretary. We got all kind of stuff going on. But they're all deep fakes. Every single one of these gaffes that make you laugh are deep fakes. Who's out there manipulating all of this data? That's what I want to know. Just bringing all of this joy and laughter to my soul. Who's out there doing it? Unbelievable.
Comprehensive immigration reform. Comprehensive immigration reform. Trump continues to vilify immigrants.
And you continue to hack up the term immigrants. Can barely say it, but yet you're out here advocating for him, y'all. Advocating for him. It's just like when he gets into his LGBT. They get the LGBT, the people. Yeah, can't even get through the acronym, but yet he love him. He love him. He's fighting for him.
I refuse to believe that to secure our border, we have to walk away from being in America. For that's generations have been renewed, revitalized, and refreshed by the talent, the skill, the hard work, the courage, and determination of immigrants coming to our country.
Immigrants coming to our country. See, because when you say it quick and jumble it up like that, you might be able to get away with it. See, the brain doesn't catch it, but mine does. Every time I'm going, now wait a minute, what was it? Was that a word? Was that a word? I don't know. Can we go back? I want to go back. So, girl migrants.
And determination of immigrants coming to our country.
He said the media is manipulating the pictures of him constantly not knowing where the hell he is.
Yeah, that's the
They're doing just the opposite. They're making him look better. At the G7 in Europe, and he had to be rescued by other world leaders. They had to pull him back. Then he bizarrely put his face on the Pope's forehead. What was that all about?
What was that about?
That was weird. Vivek is here. That was weird, Vivek.
Y'all didn't know? Y'all didn't know that's how people, the Joe Biden clan greets people? All of that sniffing and all of that face, nose, and rubbing and stuff like that, that's a part of the culture. This is a part of the creepy, sleepy clan culture. And he does it to everybody. You know, y'all seen the clips, putting his head on people's faces and sniffing them, getting all up in their face. Yeah, it's not creepy at all. Yeah, but that's, of course, how he got his nickname, Creepy. Sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. All right, let's continue, though.
I don't know. Did you see the Pope? The Pope is like, what's happening?
Now, you know what they're going to say. Donald Trump was mocking the Pope because he's in the wheelchair. Donald Trump was like, the Pope was like, I don't know what I'm doing. There it is. That's what they'll say. And you see, just because Donald Trump did this, now you can kind of see that this is a reaction or a motion that Donald Trump uses whenever he's talking about somebody who's confused. But you know, remember, they talking about deep fakes and cheap fakes and stuff like that. Remember that cheap fake they tried to use on Trump? When he was talking about the one reporter, Donald Trump mocks a disabled reporter. Now that right there was a cheap fake. But let's continue though.
What's happening?
The Pope didn't really know what was happening.
No,
he
he
said,
didn't.
this is strange.
All right, so that was normal. Okay, here we go. Who's next? Who's up next? Okay. What is this? What's this? Now, I would love to know what Joe is saying. Chocolate chip. Can I get a sniff? You know what? You, Corn Pop. I haven't seen you in a long time, Corn Pop. I would love to know what Joe is saying to the Pope right now. Can we get a transcript of what he's whispering to the Pope? Boy, I tell you. So anyway, let's go ahead and see the reaction of the people around Joe, who's all scared to death. You know right now she's ready to jump in and tackle Joe. You know it.
Okay, that was weird.
We're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos, and it is, again, done in bad faith.
Now watch this, y'all. Look at that reaction. Priceless. I guess that was a deep fake too. Did you see this man right here back up as he turned like, what the heck? Let's see it again, y'all, because I'm sure that was a deep fake too. That is a natural, genuine reaction to this mess. Look. What the?
Bruh. We've been showing you the...
He backed up like, man, what kind of mess? Man, I like to hear them spitting that. Nobody asked Black Gay Drop about that. Why was the president trying to play nose, do Eskimo kisses with the Pope? Is there any reason there's somebody deep faked, or was that a clipped angle that they go ahead and edit that? We want to know. We want to know why he was Eskimo kissing the Pope. Unbelievable.
These very unfortunate for the Biden campaign. These videos of Joe Biden where he is at different events. Keep in mind, they are so, there's so much stagecraft now involved in getting the president out and about. They want him out.
It takes a lot to get him out.
It does take.
Yeah, because see, the most time it takes is, the production of getting him out and making him look like he's competent. Yeah, that's the work. That's why the policies suck. They probably spend more time making sure this dude could walk to the helicopter, walk off the plane, stand up straight, could go through his notes properly, writing out his notes word for word, coordinating all of the, questions with the fake news, all of that. That's all of the effort that goes into making this dude appear to function. Probably takes up for the, all right, now, it's a long day, guys. Let's, anybody want to get to some policies now? No? Okay, smoke if you got them. We'll pick that up at some point. And it's a recycling situation every day. All right, there. Now we got to get up, put his socks on, make sure he can stand up, put his false teeth in. Let's go ahead and give him some more hair implants. Let's go ahead and arch his eyebrows a little more because they're not arched enough. They're not arched enough. All kind of crap.
Take a lot because they've got to figure out how does he get from the airplane to the limo? How does he get from the limo to the stage? How does he get to read the prompter and then get off? The unfortunate thing.
You see my man over here, dead serious, got the hand on the knee. Yeah, without falling. Man, I would love to be on one of these sets. I would be chiming in all over the place. All right, let's continue though. It's the little things that I catch that's funny. My man, yeah, without falling.
Is in those unscripted moments, like where he is in Italy, what does he do? Rather than looking at the parachutist in front of him, he starts looking at one behind him.
Well, yeah, see, that's what I was saying last night, y'all. As we listened to Black Airdrop try to say it was a deep fake or a cheap fake, and it was obvious that, the president was meandering off so he could, salute our troops and stuff like Benny Hill, Yeah, he was going over there to salute our troops and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, well, now, wait a minute. There's parachuters in front of you, and the cameras are in front of you, and the rest of the herd is in front of you. They're all stuck together for a reason, okay? If you kind of pan backwards, I'm sure you'll see a cameraman, parachuters, the herd, and then here's Joe. Here's Joe over here, see, walking off somewhere else, to the point where another leader feels the necessity to go and grab this dude by the arm and guide him back over to his spot. I'm surprised they don't have a big X on the ground in bright yellow. Joe, you stand here. Unreal. So look at him walking off.
And then the Italian prime minister goes
I love the
over
back
and
step,
drags
the back
him over.
step.
Hey, Mr.
There you
President,
go.
all the cameras are this way.
There.
Okay, so the White House.
There you go. That's the look you want to have right there, right? As the president. Yeah, that looks like a competent look. That's a confused look. That's a I just pooped or farted look. That's what that is right there. Yeah, that's that I'm always looking into the sun look. With the thumbs with rigor mortis right there. You see? The upside down thumb, the rigor set in. Yeah, it stays like that. It stays like that for some reason. I'm surprised he's not walking on his knuckles at this point. So let's continue.
Says that there are people out there who are trying to make Joe Biden look bad, and says that this video.
Look at that. He even put the glasses on with the rigor mortis thumb. He picked the glass up like, there we go. You see that? He grabbed the glasses with the rigor mortis thumb. Here he is, the rigor mortis thumb. Get that thumb relaxed. Use the thumb. That's what makes us, a different type of species. We can use the thumb. There you go. Let's continue.
Which we've shown you from start to finish,
Look,
for the most part, is fake. It's not. Watch.
I think there is so much misinformation, disinformation, as we've been talking.
Here it comes, y'all. Kareem Jean-Pierre, Black Airdrop. Come on, let's see what she got.
You talked about the video of the president wandering, and it's not true, right? The president wasn't wandering. He was talking to a parachuter that was right in front of him. And what you saw is the Republican Party really manipulating what was being said. And what
was being said? Corn Pop, is that you? I got hairy legs. The blonde hair that stand up on my legs in the summertime. And I like parachuters rubbing on my legs. And is that you, Uncle Finnegan? Is that you? Did the pygmies get you yet? We have no idea what that man was saying. And neither does he. And here she is talking about that they manipulated what was being said. What was being said, Black A? What was being said? Unreal.
What was being seen by the American people is also very insulting to the folks who are the
now see how she flips it? Now all of a sudden, it's insulting to the people who watched that. Now I'm thinking it's more insulting to the people who watched it and are saying, you're trying to tell me that what I just saw is a cheap fake, is manipulated, and all of that. That's what you're trying to tell me? You're trying to insult my intelligence. You're trying to question my situational awareness, my observation skills, based on the fact that everything about that whole scene, as you bring it all together, shows that they were all uncomfortable about Joe's behavior. All those leaders start looking as he drifted off, going, okay, where's he going? They had that, where's he going look? And then you saw the one turn around like, don't worry, I got him. I get him. And Joe turns and looks completely confused. And yet she wants us to believe that we are in cheap faith and all of that stuff. And I'm going, see, once again, and you want folks to vote for y'all as you lie to us to our face and then make us question our eyeballs.
Who are watching it. And so we believe we have to call that out.
Well, you could have guessed it. Many in the legacy media are actually using some of those White House one-liners to run cover, maybe, for the president. What other reason would it be?
Yeah, I want to know, what other reason would the fake news decide to just jump right on board with the narrative cheap fake? All using the same word. They just all adopted it. Yeah, it's just, somehow through osmosis, nobody wants to be an individual or a maverick, use their own definitions or stuff like that. They all just straight up say, you know what? We're going with cheap fake. I like that term. Or are they getting paid to do what they do, which is parrot the Democrats' talking points? So now let's see what the media, see how obedient they were.
Just watch.
There's a growing and insidious trend in right-wing media. It is to take highly misleading and selectively edited videos of President Biden to cast doubt on President Biden's fitness for office.
The Republican accounts circulating many of the clips responded, claiming the videos are unedited and promise to keep...
A lie. You hear that? A lie. You hear Beaker? Now I'm wondering, what's a lie about it? What's unedited? It is unedited. This is unbelievable that they would sit back and say, the unedited version. He's going, a lie. And I'm saying, what's the lie about it? You didn't tell us what the lie was. Where is the edit? Where is the cut? Where's the snip? It's unbelievable what these people are doing. And scary.
A
lie. We've been worried for years about AI deepfakes, the computer-generated images.
Like it's Little Brian Stelter. There you go. Open stadium up top is back. He still ain't tore that stadium down. What is going on, man? I know I got the bald head, but I better not come in here with the Bozo the Clown. I better not come in here with the open stadium, the horseshoe. Somebody get hold of me and say, Kev, fade that mess up. Don't you be rocking the open stadium. He let the whole stadium get open for business. And you're right. He's the original no bass in the voice. Let's continue.
They're going to trick people into believing something that's totally false. Cheap fakes are a little bit simpler. They're cheap. They're just distorted, out of context videos. That's
distorted, out of context videos. So now wait, you're telling me y'all done came up with this new term and a new definition for it. Remember, it's kind of like, you know what? This new one's called mis and disinformation. And here's the definition we're coming up with so we can use it against you people. To combat all of you destroying our lives and our narratives. So now this new cheap fake definition that they just came up with immediately, right on the spot. It's a little different than, your deep fake. It's kind of like, a video that's taken out of context or maybe. Now, they're summing up every video they have ever shown of Trump ever, if that's the case, based on what he's describing.
That's what we're seeing. That's what the Biden administration, the Biden campaign is so worried about.
What? She's insulting us, alleging that we're not seeing what we see and then shifting the blame.
Now, you know what we should do? We should take this term and use it for every time they talk about Trump. Every video clip they show of Trump. Cheap fake. There it is, cheap fake. Watch them. They're trying to co-op our term. I'm telling you right now, we should go back through the archives, any new current video clips that they put out there of Trump. Cheap fake. Hey, y'all came up with it. It's all a cheap fake. Every single thing. When y'all come out and call him Hitler, cheap fake. When y'all come out and say, oh, he made a gaffe, cheap fake. When y'all come out and say he's talking about bloodbaths, cheap fake. Let's go ahead, co-opt that term and use it. I want to abuse it. Abuse. As soon as they open their mouth to say Trump. Today, Donald Trump, a convicted fat cheap fake. It's all cheap fakes.
You've talked about this before. about the spin. And we all know the White House press secretary, that's their job, the spin for the White House.
To protect the president.
At least come up with something more original. Say something like the president, admires the paratroopers and, it wasn't the right time, but he did wander over there. Say something like, well, the president couldn't dance at the Juneteenth thing, so he just froze. But don't deny what all of America is seeing.
And that's why it's so damaging.
Exactly. So when you look at the polling.
Somebody said a creep fake. You're right about that. Now, he got a good point. And the Democrats don't put a lot of effort into their gaslighting. I mean, it is the most simplistic, obvious gaslighting of all times. I mean, you got to be an idiot to fall for their gaslighting. And there are some idiots out there. And I'm thinking, don't you have any type of dignity to your craft of evilness? Nothing? I mean, you don't have no integrity as an evil, corrupt, stinking politician or the fake news, no integrity. I mean, if you're going to be a mastermind, you at least want to be like, appreciative of your work. Like, look at me. I'm the most diabolical, meticulous, well-planned. We have any Lex Luthors over there? No? Okay. So all of them just come up with the most dumbest thing and say, all right, don't worry about it, man. Our people are dumb. They'll believe it. Just call it a cheap fake. Well, what's that? I don't know. Make it up. Anything that makes Joe Biden look bad, just call it a cheap fake. Don't even try to explain it.
It's all partisan. The entire thing is partisan when it comes to the mental and cognitive situation of the president. When you look at Republicans, 92% of Republicans are saying, look, there's a problem there. Independents is 72%. But then when you go to Democrats, it's 29%.
And that goes to show their IQ. That's about what it is, 29. If you up here thinking that Joe Biden doesn't have a cognitive problem, boy, I tell you, wait, let's get them stats again. Hold on.
Look, there's a problem there. Independents is 72%. But then when you go to Democrats, it's 29%.
Oh, godly. Wait a minute. I'm so glad God gave me a conservative brain. A brain with common sense. Holy moly. Wait, let's hear those numbers.
Situation of the president. When you look at Republicans, 92% of Republicans are saying, look, there's a problem there.
92%. So now we know what part of the country has intelligence. Now we know through this study who most people are just looking at it for face value. They're looking at it as like just who believes this. I'm looking at it as who are the intelligent humans in our country. Forget Joe Biden. Forget Joe Biden, whether he got a mental, cognitive. No, that's not even. This right here tells way more than whether Joe Biden is suffering mentity or not. This tells who the intelligent folks are in our whole country. So 92% of Republicans got common sense and are intelligent. And then you got folks that's in the middle. Let's see how many.
Independents is 72%.
Okay, so now there we go. We got another bucket of folks that are 72% of them that, they're pretty intelligent. Intelligent enough that they might not be conservatives. They might not be all Trump supporters, but they are intelligent enough to say Joe Biden is blew out. But then we go to the Democrat voters, the left. Let's see where their numbers fall in.
But then when you go to Democrats, it's 29%. So
look at how he responds. And then when you go to Democrats, that means 29% of these folks, only 29% are going, something's wrong with Joe. That's a huge percentage of people who's like, I don't see what the problem is. I want to meet some of these people, man. I would love to go out and meet some of these folks that are talking about something. I don't see what the problem is. I listen to Joe all the time. Wait, actually, now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever heard him speak. All I've heard is the news tell me about Trump and all of its white nationalism and its xenophobia and all of that stuff. It's xenophobia. Does Joe speak? Actually, I would like to see some videos of Joe and show them that and see if they still conclude I don't think there's a problem.
So the independents and the Republicans are saying it, but the Democrats feel, Ainsley, that they have to protect the man.
Well, I mean, how can it be fake? We saw Barack Obama grab his wrist and pull him off the stage.
Come on, Joe,
how can it be fake? We saw the Prime Minister of Italy walk over in front of all the other world leaders and try to turn Joe Biden around so he would face the direction of where all the other world leaders were facing.
It's not.
Yeah, because the situational situational awareness is blew out. He couldn't figure out, like, I should be facing this way. He couldn't figure out, oh, you know what? The show's over. It's time to go. That's why Barack grabbed his hand and walked his butt off there and guided him right through that curtain. Like, go through there. Get on in there. That's it. Because we never know. You might miss your mark. You might not know that you make a left. You know, you got a bust of Louis right here. No, you might go straight into the curtains and get caught up. Pull the whole curtains down.
Edited.
It's not edited.
Yeah, so it's really unbelievable that KJP would leave her communications meeting and go, I got a great thing to do. Let's condemn her.
There. We got some pudding for you. Got some nice chocolate chip waiting on you, too. You did good, Joe. You did good. Just sat there and waved.
Republicans. Let's call the New York Post a super PAC for the GOP. Let's condemn anybody that would just would say, look at that video and think this guy is too old and he might just be out of it. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference between not dancing. I'm a master at it. Anyone who's seen me at a wedding? Right. I do two things. I help the bride and the groom by not dancing, and number two, but I don't freeze in place like a robot.
I have seen you, Brian. You have a pulse, and you might sway a little.
And that's why I said I think rigor mortis is setting in to Joe right about now. His knees don't bend, his thumbs don't move, his face don't move. He stands there locked up for about 20 minutes straight. And I'm thinking the rigor has set in. They done triggered the rigor. So he's got a point. Joe Biden stood there at that Juneteenth, whatever, event and just straight locked up for God knows how long.
Right. The Juneteenth video is extraordinary because Joe Biden.
That's the threshold. You have a pulse.
You got 100 people in a picture, and the only person who is not moving.
Look at Joe.
Challenge.
But look at his hands too.
His
hands, he's frozen.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that recognizes the pause. I'm not the only one that recognizes, the zombie hands or the old school monster. Where's Frankenstein walking like, I'm not the only one that recognizes that.
Person I can see is moving. That's the problem for it. The White House says, well, he's just taking it all in.
It's not even a dance. They're just swaying.
Right.
Just clap your hands.
Just watching.
Everyone can do that.
Right. I mean, and the thing is, too, if you watch put his glasses on with the G7, you see how gingerly he's putting his glasses on?
Slowly.
Now, isn't it weird that we're all able to observe these little details, and yet Karine Jean-Pierre, she can't. She don't understand it. It's fascinating to me. All you have to do is take a second to just observe this crap, and you'll go, that's not normal. I mean, that man looks like he has no idea where he is or what is going on around him until that guy touched him, and it was like an automatic smile. Unreal. But yet, these are all cheap fakes.
As if someone's doing like some, you can't manipulate that video. He looks frozen. And Mitch McConnell, I'll give you an example. Mitch McConnell froze twice.
Yeah, he did.
And this is the difference between conservatives and liberals, or should I say Democrats and Republicans. We all straight up owned it. When Mitch McConnell froze up, I was like, yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
After his head injury, nobody said he didn't freeze.
All Republicans.
Can you imagine if anybody said, well, leave Mitch McConnell alone, he was fine. Right. No, he's not fine. But now he's fine. But then he wasn't.
But Brian, the most damaging video is the video of the former President Barack Obama. The way he grabs Joe Biden.
Yeah, why do that?
But the Biden people are mad at that.
Yes. But you know what? Stop putting him in this position.
Thank you. See, y'all stick Joe out there in those positions with babysitters and with the Easter Bunny watching over him. With the little black bald head dude who runs out there and grabs him all the time. Yeah, just come out and make the confession. Joe is blew out and got to go. Just make the confession, because I'm going to make you make it. I'm going to beat them into submission. I'm going to talk about this situation as if he's perfectly fine. Because, see, they're trying to pretend like he's perfectly fine. And if he wasn't so evil, I might, just be a little more sensitive to his situation. But he's full-blown 100% infested with evil. Not to mention, the evil folks around him are pretending that he's fine. So I'm going to say, yeah, that looks like I'm fine behavior right there. To whereas Barack Obama got to grab you by your hand and walk you off to show everybody who's really in control.
Stop leaving them. There is no other foreign leader or former. Think about even back in the days when the Carters were still out on the national stage. Hey, there was no grabbing the Carters by the wrist or former president.
And the way Joe is walking looks horrible. Feet look like they are tender, like somebody got a big meat tenderizer and went to work on him before he came out on stage. Like he's walking around with ground beef in his shoes. They done just mashed his feet up into ground beef. That's how he's walking. Arms aren't moving, knees aren't bending, and this guy got him completely off the stage. He didn't just tug on his hand and say, come on, Joe, let's go. This was a complete guide you off the stage and make you look completely emasculated.
And Clinton, like that just does not happen.
Why did Barack Obama feel like he had to do that? KJP said the president was just taking it all in. Okay, then why did Obama say, okay, Joe, time to go?
But you know what? Obama was standing right next to him taking it, and he's waving like most other world leaders.
And the reason the White House is probably steamed is because there's this undercurrent about, okay, we got these deep fakes. We can't have bad looking video. And then yesterday
Yep. Somebody said Tin Man. That's right. That man right now, every time he comes out, I'm waiting for it. When a man's an empty kettle and should be on his medal, and yet I'm torn apart. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Just because I'm pretending that I could be. Yeah, I want to hear him sing. If I only had a heart. So let's continue. Somebody said if you only had a brain. You're right about that.
At that Dreamer event at the White House, what happened?
Did it again.
Joe Biden can't remember the name of that guy that he appointed to DHS secretary.
Let's hear this one
Watch
again.
this.
Let's hear it again. Let's hear it
and listen to it.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm Joe Biden's husband. Thanks
When
to
is
all
he
the
gonna
members of
finish that, Joe? I
Congress,
hate that
Homeland
joke.
Security Secretary. I'm not sure going to introduce you all the way.
I'll be tender, I'll be gentle, and awful sentimental regarding love and art.
All kidding aside.
All right, so who manipulated the video? Was it Ainsley or was it you, Lawrence?
Yeah.
I don't know. So that wasn't a great moment.
Studio. Maybe Ainsley did it.
That is so hard to
They are clowning this dude. And I wonder as they push this narrative of, deep, cheap fakes or whatever, I wonder if they're watching the reaction that we're having to their lie. I hope they're going, man, they're making us look stupid. They're bringing out some good points. They see through us. We weren't able to, pull this off. And now I say we co-opted. Did we take it and start using it for Trump? Every time they got something to say about Trump, every video clip, cheap fake. There it is. Thanks for giving it to us. We will own a term. We will take something like, let's go, Brandon. That's right. And use that mess to our glory. So, yeah, they're up there clowning them. And I want to know all those clips that we just went through, how many of those were manipulated?
watch.
Another Biden migrant was arrested for the savage murder.
No. Now, this right here ain't no cheap fake. This is reality. Another migrant was arrested.
Of an innocent American woman, Rachel Morin, 37 years old, mother of 5, beautiful woman, nice woman, everybody loved her.
Now, do you know the butt kicking this guy deserves? I'm talking about Mucus and Biden first. They're the first two that needs the butt whooping. But the guy who did this, you took away 5 kids' mothers. 5 kids. Like, you grow up and you're looking back like, man, my mom died probably a horrific death, thinking about us. Like, what's going to happen to my kids? As this animal that shouldn't have even been in the country committed this crime. Just the fight that had to be in her just for the kids alone. You think that guy cared about this? And what makes me mad is you think Mucus cares about this? You think that Joe Biden cares about this? As they're going out there trying to push for amnesty and talking about breaking up homes? This is that topic that makes me want to just split my wig, man. Listening to this.
Was president, he would never have been able to come in. He would have never been able to come in.
Rachel's mother, meantime, struggled to understand
Beautiful.
how this happened.
5 kids.
It's a senseless death. Who would expect almost 2,000 miles from the southern border?
Good point, lady. Who would expect a sovereign country would open up their borders and allow millions and millions of unvetted illegal immigrants to come into their country? Who Who would expect that? The last thing you would be thinking about in America is my country would leave me and my family vulnerable to folks coming 2,000 miles from another place who shouldn't have been in the country at all and end up killing one of my family members. It's the last thing on your mind when you wake up.
Somebody coming from another country, coming into our small town, and just randomly attacking someone and brutally murdering them. It's like we've opened our doors and you let a stranger into your house.
Thank you. It's like you open your doors and let a stranger into your house. That lets me know that Joe Biden, Mucus, and his whole administration shouldn't be in power. They don't care about the family. The goal of the presidency and the government should be to protect the citizens, should be to look out for them first, should be to make sure their safety is the highest priority. And yet you open up the door to let the foxes come right into the hen house. Yeah, you just straight leave your kids vulnerable. What kind of protector would do that? And yet folks get mad when they hear MAGA, make America great again. America first. Folks get mad when Trump talks about shutting down the border and keeping criminals and all of these type of people out until something like this happens to one of the family members. Now, I'm not saying that this woman thought like that, but I'm saying all those people out there to get mad when they hear Trump talk about protecting the family, which is American citizens. Yeah, it would be a whole different ballgame if something like this happened to a family member of theirs. Then they'd be going, who let this person come in the back door? And to find out that it was supposed to be the protector of the house who did it, that would make me go berserk. If a father sits back, don't worry about it, I'm going to leave the whole back door wide open while I go off to work, knowing you live in a rough area, and you come home and find a couple family members, hurt, killed, or whatever, the rest of them should be looking at you like you sorry stinking, no good dad for nothing. Your first priority when you leave the crib should be lock up, make sure everybody's safe. Okay, that should be your first priority. But their first priority, bring them in, make sure they're comfortable, make sure they're safe. Don't deport them unless they really do something. If you catch them, release them. That's the stuff that makes me want to put my foot up their tails. And I'm sure this woman right here is furious at the Biden administration. Because watch what Mucus has to say about it, y'all. She wants to know how this happened.
Of course, our hearts break for the children, the family, the loved ones, the friends.
Put a sock in it. I'm talking, let me put the sock down there. Man, I would shove that sock so far down Mucus's throat, you would see my shoulder. That's it. Only thing sticking out of his mouth is my shoulder. Whole arm down his throat. Dang on it. Yeah, he would poop that sock out instantly because I would shove it all the way down to his colon. There you go. You don't deserve to talk. Up here, that goes out to the family. Programmed answer. That's all that is. Oh, crap. We're responsible for another American citizen getting killed. Okay, we got to do. Go out there, act like we're showing compassion. We're empathetic and all of that. But don't go ahead and make it personal. Don't go ahead and really show that we're responsible for this. Downplay it. Be disconnected. Make it kind of, innocuous. Don't attach us to it. Don't personalize it. Don't humanize it.
Of the individual who was
the individual,
the woman, the mother.
The woman, I can't even get it out. The woman, the mother, the individual.
Growing over the open border and the illegal immigrants. The crime wave now being linked to all of it.
It's another disaster for New York. It's a tragedy for New York. It's a disaster about how our border is still open. We see more crime due to the illegal immigrants that have flooded our border.
Well, another one? Another one? Because according to the left, there's no crime surge from illegal immigrants. That's all a right-wing conspiracy talking point. The radical left or right is making this all up. Well, look at this. Another one of Mucus, results.
somebody who would take two children with a machete type knife, tie them up, rob them, and the 13-year-old girl. An illegal immigrant from Ecuador is accused of that barbaric crime, and he's talking. In fact, investigators say during a taped confession, he told them that he videotaped of that little girl at a public park in New York City.
Somebody go get another boot for me. Foot up butt. Every single one of these animals need the worst, most harsh punishment that a civilized country could dish out. That's all I'm saying. And if these crimes were committed in areas that don't have the death penalty, they need to bring it back. Need to bring it back. This is unbelievable, man. You rob a child's innocence. So this fool, he was that confident. Went in like, oh yeah, I did it. Used my knife. I stole the knife. Got it. Oh yeah, I got real comfortable. I started recording it. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the parent of any of these people. I'm glad I'm not the parent. I mean, they would have to, like, I just watched a video clip of obviously someone who is mentally disturbed, but a black lady right up there in Cleveland who just stole a knife and went and stabbed a 3-year-old and his mother. And the 3-year-old didn't make it. And the father was in court, and while they're asking her, you know, how she pleaded on, she's over there smiling like, Now, the difference though is even though she deserves foot up butt, even though it was a heinous crime, you know, the difference is she's still an American citizen. At the end of the day, I'm going, okay, she's going to be judged by our laws. Nobody that's supposed to be in charge of protecting the country let her in on purpose and didn't vet her. Yeah, we just ran across some random crazy chick who decided that I guess I'm going to do this. I guess it sounds like a good idea. She's obviously crazy, but that would not keep me from running across that courtroom like Superman and jumping straight onto her neck and choking her like Homer Simpson until about 50 cops pull me off. I will be straight Mr. T after Rocky got in a couple punches. As they pulling me away. I will be going crazy. Same thing with one of these people. Straight big time wrestling. Start off and fool everybody. I'm just glad that the person was apprehended. The law and justice. That's how quick it would be. They'd be like, holy mother. Should we stop him? Should we stop him? I mean, he does have a point. I mean, I have a daughter myself. I mean, you know what? Let's go ahead and let this ride a little bit. Let's let this ride a little bit before we pull him off one of these animals. Unbelievable.
The bravery of these two 13-year-old children. It is amazing then from what they went through, their identification, their memory of the tattoo, the braces, all which was right on point, which is a remarkable thing for two 13-year-olds to remember.
We are, as a nation, enduring a wave of crimes, violent crimes linked to illegal immigrants.
And you know what's sad? All of these things are because the Democrat Party. We're not just talking about the wave of crime from illegal immigrants. Look at the wave of crime from American citizens. Let out of jail, paroled, all of those people. Yeah, left up to their own devices even though they're crazy. Yeah, don't lock them up. Don't go after these kids who's just robbing stuff and beating people and taking over city blocks and, you know, doing burnouts in front of the cops. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, that's what's happening. All of this is a result in 3.5 years of Democrat policies taking place in Democrat cities, and then it filters over into other states when these people come into the country and decide to migrate throughout our country. Because, you know, once you're in, you can travel about. You can go and kind of do whatever you want. Yeah, once you're in the country, you can just... Now, if I snuck in Russia, managed to make it into Moscow, and then decide I'm just going to go ahead and travel all through Russia, you don't think they have an eye on me? You don't think they would be sitting back like, first of all, I would have been shot crossing the border. Yeah, I sneak into Beijing and just start, you know, skipping across China. This is unbelievable. So all of this, you got crime from horrible Democrat policies, Soros-backed DAs, liberal, dang on leaders in their cities, oh, well, we got to defund the police. They're allowing our city to turn into straight up Escape from New York. And
Now,
we're not even in New York.
high-profile examples of illegal immigrant violence is fueling deeper concerns now over President Biden's border policies and the crisis under his watch and the effect that it's all having on American safety.
Somebody said 44 shootings in Chicago. I heard like 13 people got killed there. I mean, and yet you got Mayor Conehead. Don't demonize these kids. Don't, you know what? Boy. But this guy right here is about to go ahead and keep it 100% real before we get out of here. Check it out, y'all.
What's happening with this, Jason?
Yeah,
What's happening is that we're creating victims with preventable crimes. If we had a border that was secure, we wouldn't be having these kinds of crimes. When you have
y'all hear that? Preventable crimes. So let me go back to the crazy lady who attacked a woman and her child. Couldn't predict that. It was unpreventable for the most part, unless some circumstance were different, like the husband might have been there. But that woman, for all, intents and purposes, I mean, she was an American citizen. She just randomly came out of nowhere. But when these things happen and you start tracing back the course that these illegal immigrants took to get to this location and moment in time, to do what they did, it goes all the way back to a country where they left, came to our border. Some of them been stopped once, twice, or whatever. Then came through and ended up there, and then you connect the folks up there who said, let them go. Let them go. We're not going to arrest them that's coming here unless you commit a felony. Yeah, the folks is telling our Border Patrol, you got 72 hours to hurry up and process all of these people into the country. The folks who's creating apps so folks can come in and apply for asylum. Folks who's allowing them to have the worst background checks ever. See, that's how you get to the point of cause and effect. You say, whoa, this wasn't just a random American citizen who just decided to commit a crime. No, this right here can be traced back to their country, but then right back up to the White House and then right down to the crime. Yes, that's the path it took. That country, actually it took White House, that country, back to the White House, then to the crime.
Have a secretary go on television and not say Rachel's name, that's intentional because he didn't bother to learn it, because that gets in the way of their policy. Whenever there are crimes committed by illegal immigrants and it gets attention from the media, especially nationally, what you start to see is the same talking point go out over and over and over again by folks on the radical left who support open borders. They come out and they'll tell you, everyone relax, illegal immigrants actually commit fewer crimes than American citizens. Look at all the studies. Now, that is a bogus position for them to take, because the one thing that we know about most crimes in this country, when they're occurring in places like Seattle, Portland, New York.
All S-hole ran cities. Democrat S-hole ran cities. So now what this man right here is saying is that, first of all, whenever something like this happens and it hits, is YouTube censoring somebody? Yes, they probably are. I know they're censoring me, that's for sure. But when crimes like this take place, and the folks who know they're really responsible for it, if it gets to the point where everybody is recognized that they're going, oh crap, this is us again, isn't it? All right, this one hit national news. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to go out there and connect ourselves to that doo-doo pie we just laid. You ever have seen a dog on, these TikTok or, checking out all the animal clips off of those shorts on Instagram where the dogs do something and they feel guilty and they disassociate themselves with it? Yeah, they get as far away from that mess as possible. You come in the house and you see a couple of doo-doo pies on the floor. The dog's not sitting right there in front of the doo-doo pie like, look what I did. I made this for you. I made this for you. That dog is somewhere under a couch, behind the couch, somewhere acting like, I don't know where that came from. They even know, I don't want to be responsible for the doo-doo I just laid. Don't connect me to that. I'm going to pretend, even though I'm the only dog in the house, that I have no idea where that doo-doo came from. And that's the same thing with mucus in the left. When something like this happened, they don't want to get all up on it and look at their mess that they laid. So they got to kind of, disassociate themselves. They don't want to get personal and start dropping names out there. They don't want to call up the family. They don't want to do that. How you going to explain to a family member that here I am calling you because I'm compassionate. I'm sorry about your loss that I was responsible for. The person should have been sent back to their country at least about 8 times. But my policies allowed them to come through, and it resulted in your child being either killed or you know what. But our bad. That's what you're going to tell the people? So it's better to just come out that the person or the victim that was that person who died. There's always a tragedy when someone's life is taken. You give that garbage because you don't want to look at that dude. But I want to grab him by the back of the neck, like I would do any dog who pooped in the house, and stick their nose right in it. I would make a painting, rubbing with their nose, dipping it in there, drawing all kind of stuff. A little more brown here, rub it there. That's what I would do with mucus. He needs to stick his nose right in the mess that he made.
Guess what? They don't ask citizenship, so we don't actually have the data that they're claiming to.
Oh, so that fake dude on MSNBC, the Republicans are out there saying that there's a crime wave from immigrants. That's a lie. You know what it is? It's nothing but propaganda. With no bass in his voice. That guy. Yeah, that was a lie? No, it's not a lie. It's just that how can you record all the stats if you're responsible for the crime going up? You don't want that attention brought to your precious illegal immigrants. You don't want that attention. So you know what? Let's just say Chicago man, the Texas man, New York man commits crime. Well, yes, sir, you just bashed this lady in the head. We're going to go ahead and have to lock you up, but we can't ask you if you're an American citizen or not. We can't ask you where you're from. That's personal. That's personal. Yeah, that's profiling.
But they use that, they exploit that so that we don't focus on the people's pain when they are suffering from or the family suffering from the murder of a loved one.
That's right. You want to disconnect from that pain. Yeah, you don't want these folks showing up at the State of the Union in the front row looking at you. You don't want angel moms up there looking at you like this as you're trying to justify why we should be open to immigration, illegal immigration. You don't want to be up there seeing that. Hey, you don't want to be face to face with some of the victims of these family members who were killed by illegal immigrants that you let into the country. No, you don't want to do an interview with them. Why would you want to call them up and be like, hey, it's me, Mucus, the man responsible for all the carnage?
It's pretty despicable, but again, this is all preventable. We just have to be willing to close our border.
Yeah, we've put up some of the most recent violent crimes on our screen right now, but you make a good point. I mean, how could we?
Wow, aggravated murder, Hamilton, Ohio. That's down here by me. I know where that is. Man, I tell you. Okay, well, we got Connecticut. What is Georgia? Whew, wow, Missouri. Well, there you have it, guys. All of this stuff going on around the country. Democrats, man.
Possibly know the statistics of illegal immigrant crime when we're not even able to vet all the people that the Biden administration has let in the
There you
last.
go. So how can we know the statistics of illegal immigrant crime when we don't even know how many got away? There you go. We got like 1.8 or so of them. Right? You know, who's counting? Could be 2, 3, 4 million. We don't know. That's the whole point of being a getaway. Boy,
3.5 years. I mean, that's just a ridiculous talking point on the left. And it's insulting to those people who are losing their loved ones in this.
And just like it's insulting to our intelligence when they tell us Joe Biden is fine, it's insulting when they sit back and, they try to tell us illegal immigrant crime doesn't exist. It's insulting to our intelligence when they try to tell us that only reason the conservatives want to get certain books out of classrooms is because we're racist and white nationalists and we don't want Black history taught. It's insulting when they come out and they use all of these bootleg narratives and talking points all to justify every one of their horrific policies. It's insulting when they try to tell us that letting a kid transition is nothing more than gender affirming care, not mutilation. It's insulting when they come out and tell us that, women's reproductive rights, not the third trimester abortion. That's not what it's called. It's called the women reproductive rights. That's not called abortion. No, that's not what it is. It's insulting when they come out and do that. It's also insulting when they come out and say, that was an insurrection. These are extremist far right and all of that. And we're going, it's insulting. It's insulting when they tell us President Trump is calling for a bloodbath. And we're all going, we just watched it. Is that a cheap fake you just dropped out there on us? Was that a cheap fake? But this guy ain't finished. He ain't finished with the left.
Crime wave. It absolutely is, but they don't really care about that. They're not thinking about the victims. And isn't that
all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Enough is enough of this garbage. All I want to say is mucus don't really care about us.
The mentality of the radical left for the last several years, that they focus more on the criminal, pretending that the criminal is in fact the victim and completely ignoring the victims themselves. It is.
I noticed that. Isn't that odd? Isn't that called perversity? When you flip something upside down like that, when you take right and go to the full-blown opposite of it and make it wrong, you perverted it. There you go. So they take evil and try to make evil look good. Therefore, why look at it as illegal immigration? Look at it as migration. Look at it as undocumented citizens. No, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have called them illegal. You know what? Undocumented citizen. Perversity. That's what it is. Yeah, let's let criminals go and go after Trump, who've done nothing. Stuff like that.
Is part of this pattern. It's ideologically based, and it's not going to stop until the voters say enough is enough. We're not going to keep these people in positions of power anymore.
Enough of this garbage. That's what needs to happen. Because all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. And I don't mean just us. I'm talking about the U.S. They do not care about our country based on all of the crap that they've allowed to take place in our country. But guys, liberalism is a disease that it spreads. It's all over the place. Look at these. Look at the latest tactic from the climate extremists. Look at this. Yeah. Stop. You see somebody trying to pull that old man away from these stones that I don't even know the name of. But I know they're famous because I've seen them on all types of pictures and YouTube clips. Work of art. Did these people build those stones? Did they put those up there themselves? Did they do that? What gives them the right to go in there and start spray painting these things? Spray painting them. Stonehenge, hinge, or how do you pronounce that? I guess it's hinge. Yeah, look at this, guys. A work of art that's been here like centuries before these humans were even on Earth. Only to find these selfish, arrogant people out here doing this. And this guy who just was talking about the Democrats, what he's about to do is he's about to give them an earful too. Look at that. That's how they protest.
Well, a group released this video showing protesters spraying orange paint all over England's ancient Stonehenge, 5,000 years.
Man, I would make them lick that off. 5,000 years old. And I mean, what's that going to change? Whose mind you're going to change by doing that? Do you understand how crazy things have gotten? I really believe that the end time is on its way. When I start seeing crazy stuff like this, I've never seen this type of just lunacy out of humans, man. What do you think that's going to do? You're going to destroy a 5,000-year-old monument for your activism. You think everybody's going to stop what they're doing and say, all right, now we got to completely turn everything upside down for climate change? Because look at this. These people spoke volumes when they spray painted these stones right here. Changed my mind. Or would people say, y'all just destroyed, or at least tried to destroy, a work of art? Yeah, how about you stick your tongue out and go to licking all of this orange paint off of there? I would make them work that off. I don't even know what kind of paint they use, but what if that stuff can't come off? Now, all the folks that travel to come see that work of art, now has to look at nasty, dirty, stinking orange paint sitting there because of these dummies.
And only like 15 minutes of this. Look at all that. Police arrested both the vandals seen here. One of them, by the way, because this was breaking while I was on the air earlier this week. One of them was 73 years old. One of the activists. The other was 21.
What are you doing out there? 73 years old. That's like Joe Biden. What is he doing out there? He should be sitting down somewhere. He's not capable. This guy can't be in his right mind. What does a 73-year-old man feel like? I got to go out there and spray paint these stones because I'm making a difference. You're not even going to be around, okay? I'm sorry to break it down to you. You won't be around to see climate change impact the earth like that. What's it to you, man? What's it to you at 73? All right? How about you in the rest of your life just sitting around chilling, enjoying the sun or something, instead of doing some time in jail, hopefully, for spray painting some rocks? Boy, I tell you, man. Crap for brains. These people got shite for brains. So what the heck is a 73-year-old and a young person out there doing spray painting stuff?
You've got a generational wave of hate with this. What they hate, we're not quite sure. They don't love the environment, though, because otherwise they wouldn't spew all that stuff. British leaders condemned the action, calling it a disgrace and pathetic. The same organization also took credit for damage to private jets at an England airport, saying it intended to target a jet owned by Taylor Swift.
Look at these. Look at these idiots, y'all. Look at these idiots. Foot up tail. They need the foot up the tail work, too. Spray painting jets. Cutting through fences. You could do something productive with that saw. But no, not you. You're cutting through fences to go spray paint jets and videotaping it, y'all. Yeah, you're right. Libtards. They're all special, man. All special.
Well, that'll get them to prison quickly, I would imagine. Start targeting people. It's the latest in it.
There you go. Let's go ahead and mess up paintings that I did not paint. Work of art. They don't even care about, they could be a Monet. I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They're all caught up in whatever ideology they have. Just sitting down in front of that bus. This one was funny. Where the bus started moving and then they was like, no, stop, what are you doing? And I'm going, moving. That's what I'm doing. I'm a bus that's supposed to be somewhere and I got people waiting. And here you are sitting down crisscross applesauce right in front of the bus. So let's go ahead, apparently, and play some chicken. You think your flesh can stand up to this bus. Let's see what happens. Look at this, spray painting, all kind of stuff, man. These people are crazy.
A wave of protests involving historic objects and paintings in recent years.
And they all look crazy. Well, I mean, you can see, they don't take them to jail. First, take them to jail. But then put them all in an insane asylum. All in an insane asylum. Yeah, and then that might discourage other people when they start seeing these people are nuts. They're all like 15,000 of them are in an insane asylum. All the ones with the purple hair and all of that. Look at that. They all look like 100% liberals. And I'm talking extreme liberals. And they want to make sure you know it too. That's why they dress and act like this. I'm sitting there going, everything about your demeanor makes you identifiable as an extreme liberal. You want to look that way. Like, I don't care, man. It's all about, the cause and it's the daisy age. And like, I'm going to make sure I just dress all, like a social misfit and tie-dye and make sure my hair is Kool-Aided out and all of this. And then sit out there like they're doing Zen in the middle of the street.
Jason, they have our attention, but you can't convince me with corrosive substances you care about the environment.
And you never will.
So what is this really about?
Yes, what is it? Y'all ready for this psychoanalyzation? This breakdown of what this is really about, y'all? This ain't about activism. Please, Jason, tell us what this is about.
The worst people for the environmentalist movement are the environmentalists themselves. These are the people who push folks away from their cause, because no one looks at any of this and says, gee, boy, they really pushed me in the direction of now wanting to get rid of all fossil fuels by 2030.
That's what I be saying, Jason. I said that about the Palestinian protesters out there doing all of that crazy stuff. Nobody wants to be associated with that. Nobody. If you got common sense, you're not going to be the guy sitting in your hot car in San Francisco on a bridge somewhere for about 3 hours while they clear these people off the bridge and going, what in the heck is going on up there? What? Okay. I told my wife I'd be home for dinner at 5 and 7 o'clock right now. And you get out your car and you go up there, you see about 8 of them laying out in the street, keys over the bridge, car parked right in there, talking about some free Palestine. Oh, well, that's what this is about. Well, I stand corrected. Well, darn it, for free Palestine. Somebody go get me a sign. I'm going to go ahead and join in with this. You're going to go, I don't give a dang about Palestine right about now. I care about that spaghetti and meatballs that I'm missing out on because you want a free Palestine. That's what I care about. Let's continue. Oh, boy.
The problem that we're dealing with here is these are selfish narcissists.
Oh.
They don't actually care about the environment. They care about getting credit for people thinking they care about the environment. They do things like this. They set up this world in which it's going to be destroyed in 12 years, right? AOC did this a few years ago. Unless you pass this policy, the world ends. And so they've set up this phony issue that...
Now, see, you know what the problem is? The guy that was trying to stop them from spray painting, right there, let's see. You see what the problem is? Okay, there we go. You see this guy coming in?
Did this a few years ago. Right, now, see, unless you pass this...
See how he tiptoed in? You know, kind of gently tiptoed in? And then old guys over there...
This policy, the world ends.
Okay, see now. Here's the problem. And this is why they keep doing this. Notice when they were down there free in Palestine in Texas, I think it was either Texas or Florida, and the cops, they laid down and chained themselves up. The cops came, grabbed them all, picked their tails up and drug them off to the side of the road and dropped them down. There you go. See, when you go in to stop somebody from doing something like this, you got to hit them with the full-blown Jack Lambert tackle. You got to come in with the Dick Buckets tackle like you're trying to save a life. I want to see this guy get taken out the screen. That's how hard I'm coming in, taking this dude out. I used to tell kids when I was in education, hey, if I see you guys fighting, I'm going to break it up. But it's going to be so rough when I break it up, you're going to think you're being jumped. It ain't going to be no, hey, guys, stop. It's going to be, get your butt. You're going to be going, whoa, that was worse than the fight. The way he just broke this up was worse than the fight. I would tackle one of these dudes full speed. Take them right off their feet. I got the suspect down. I'm going to need backup. That's right. Maybe next time they will be looking around while they're spray painting. Where's that crazy black guy who tackled the heck out of me the last time I was destroying property? So you start getting cops that actually deal with these people in a way that they're going, I don't want to be choked up like that before. Now again, here I am talking about some shh, and somebody with the billy club comes around my neck and be like, all right, put the can down, let's go. You start thinking, you'll be going, wait a minute, man. I didn't like the way they did me that time. Maybe I should go ahead and just sit down peacefully and start protesting like I got some sense. Instead of damaging property that I didn't build, make, don't own. Who do these people think they are? They're arrogant, and yes, they're narcissists.
And so they've set up this phony issue that they're now going to say, but I'm trying to save humanity. I am a hero. Give me praise. That's all that this is about. And it's ironic because conservatives, especially, we care about the environment. The folks who are out there hunting and fishing and camping, they actually take care of the environment and want to do things that make us good stewards of the environment. But no one wants to...
Yeah, sensible things. See, now you know what would help that lady out right there as she's painting that plane? A clothesline. There you go, a clothesline. That will help her out. Oh, you want to paint planes? There you go. Yeah, good old clothesline would take care of all of that. Then she'll be complaining, I was abused by the police. No, I had to take you down. I was afraid that some of that paint might hit the fuel line and blow something up. I had to act quickly with a clothesline. Right across. Can't shoot all out of the place. End up spraying her. All right, I got the suspect's weapon. Right now it's out of control. It's out of control. It's just spraying everywhere, all over her and everything. Yeah, make them feel it. Make them feel it. They'll think twice.
To get on board any kind of policy coming from these lunatics because they're so fringe.
Yeah, right now I had to clothesline this lady right here. She has a dangerous weapon in her hand. I didn't know what she was going to do with that saw. Clothesline solves it all. Solves it all. Clothesline for every activist. There you go. Yeah, I will come full speed into that screen. You'll see me running down the tarmac. All right, now Kevin's on the move again. Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let this play out. It was hilarious the last time. Let's wait until after the clothesline. Let's wait until after the clothesline. Oh my God, I had to do this because I thought you were going to hurt somebody with that saw. My bad. Are you okay? Are you okay? Here, let me help you out. Your neck hurts? Clothesline solves it all.
And so they just get in the way. There are lots of things that I think across the board we can all
Clothesline, as she's running back this way. Yeah, you'll see me come out this right here. There, you'll see me dart right there. She's jogging off, smiling at the camera. You'll see me come running in. There you go. Good old clothesline. Take her right off the feet.
Doing to help the environment, having nothing to do with some of the alarmism that's out there, but it's just being good citizens. They get in the way, and they're constantly getting in the way until at some point they're going to find out the hard way that people don't put up with this crap.
Thank you. Clothesline. Yeah, at some point they're going to find out the clothesline will solve all of this. This is unreal, man. Who do you like? You didn't pay for none of this. None of this. And you know you're not going to pay for it either. After tearing it up, you're not going to be responsible for paying for washing this. None of that. You're just going to sit back, go to jail for maybe a day or so. They'll let you out, give you a slap on the wrist under the Activist Act. We can't really punish activists. They're doing it for a good cause. So is that a thing? Is there an Activist Act out there? No. I'm pretty sure a politician said there is. So we'll let them out with the Activist Act. And they'll go back to doing it again. They like being arrested for this stuff because then they could go around talking about, look what I did. You know, I got arrested for this, and then I had protested for this, and then I once did this, and I've been arrested 8 times for this.
And when they get in front of people, blocking them from getting to the office or getting home to see their kids on time, or to the hospital, it's going to get violent at some point. Obviously, I don't.
Clothesline. Now, who are these people sitting around the crib thinking up this stuff? Here you are, grown woman, grown man. All right, tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and get me a spray paint can, and I'm going to cut through some barbed wire and run out on a tarmac. Hopefully I won't get ran over by a plane or shot because they might suspect me to be a terrorist. And I think it'll be a good idea to start spray painting the planes because that obviously will bring awareness to climate change. Tomorrow, me and this old guy, I don't know where I found him. I think I got him from the insane asylum. He's a crazy old man. We're going to go ahead and grab these paint cans, and we're going to go to these precious 5,000-year-old stones, and we're going to spray paint them. And hope that we don't get clotheslined. But see, if they had that fear in the back of the head of clothesline, then they would think twice. Right now, there's no fear.
Want to see that? Yeah. But they're pushing themselves into that. And then, of course, they can claim that they're even bigger martyrs to the cause.
Yep. And the folks that support these activists are going to get one of them hurt real bad. Like the one guy, he shot one of them. I forget what country it was, but I mean, I'm blocking this dude. You know what? I'm not going to deal with this. I mean, these people got some nerve, and they don't even realize the danger that they put themselves in. And they also are not aware that all of these behaviors do not move the needle. In fact, it pushes the needle in the opposite direction. Nobody wants to be inconvenienced. If they canceled my dang on plane, you guys are being pushed back because somebody's out on a tarmac spray painting the plane for climate change. Man, I got a meeting. I'm supposed to be at the White House. I know. But we got to clean the plane off now because nobody clotheslined the people out there on the tarmac. Do I got to put my luggage down and come out of retirement? Full-blown Dick Bux's tackle. So that's what we have going on around the whole globe. Now, guys, I want to put my disclaimer out there. I'm not recommending that the solution to all of these radical liberals who decide to participate in their activism in such a manner be clotheslined in the way that I described it, even though it would be extremely funny and effective. I want to let you know that. But based on my observation, I highly recommend that if they, in whatever location these things are taking place, adopt the clothesline tactic in law enforcement. It might solve the problem. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Good clothesline clears everything up. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Make sure you follow me on all the other social media platforms. Subscribe to my alternative channel if you can and if you will. What else? Let me think. If you want to donate to the channel on the way out, drop a couple nickels in the bucket. You could do that through my Cash App or my PayPal. Text MAGA to this number if you want to make sure that we don't get lost. Just in case the man do something to me. Somebody said fantastic as always. Thank you so much. Well, I tell you, I get caught up in my mind, man. These scenarios, they just start growing and growing and growing. Like, and where did the clothesline even come from? All of a sudden now, stuck on the clothesline. And some things like develop just randomly and then they stick. Like no bass in the voice now has just caught on for some reason. But it was just a random thought one day. Like, man, these dudes have no bass in the voice. Next you know, no bass in the voice. It's a regular. Oh boy, I tell you. So anyway, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I really do. So like I said, let's get together again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Do it all again. Okay? With that being said, let me get out of here, man. Go try to get me some Chipotle's before it closes. Get some nourishment in my body. I'm famished. Yeah, I'm going to give y'all some gizmo after I get it right. Tear up the place, yeah. Take care.